Okay, hey everybody out there, we are live. Hey, Greg Ryder coming at you from Launch Cart, and today we got some cool stuff happening. We are going to be interviewing the founder and the man behind T-Shirt Side Hustle, and you're going to learn some stuff on how to really make money and start your T-shirt business. He's going to be coming on momentarily, so I'm going to bring him on. Boom, right there. See if he's ready. He's doing some tune up on his audio.
Should be good to go now. How it sound?
Sounding good. Sounding good. I went live because I said I was going live at 1 o'clock. I couldn't be a minute late.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry.
Exactly. Hey, everyone's busy. So hey, let us know you can hear us out there and comment, and make sure, depending on where you're watching this, StreamYard might want to, you got to give StreamYard permission to show your name so we can do stuff like this. Boom. So Tish says hello, and we got stuff coming like this, and so by you giving permission to StreamYard, we can show your questions right on the screen. We can show your name, your accolades, whatever that is. We're going to kind of get going. So we got some cool stuff going on. I met Stan recently, and just got a lot of respect. I started stalking him online and watching all of his videos and that kind of stuff. And he's the perfect person to help you fine-tune your business with T-shirt marketing, and in some cases help you get started. Like if you're just sitting here thinking, going, man, I want to start a T-shirt business. How do I do it? He is the perfect person for that. And I didn't give him any indication what I was going to ask him or what we're going to talk about or what we're going to do. So I'm just going to grill him. We're going to grill him. We're going to get all the gold for everyone out here who wants to start and launch a T-shirt company. So with that being said, Stan, share with everybody what part of the world you're in right now.
I'm in Wilmington, Delaware, on the East Coast.
East Coast. All right. So it's a little cold out there right now.
Yeah. It was actually colder when I was in LA though, so it's kind of like a little odd for me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So how long have you been embarking on this T-shirt side hustle business that you have?
So I started the actual YouTube channel in 2017. However, I started printing T-shirts like really as like the main goal in 2011.
2011. So what is the number one challenge that you feel that you overcame and that everybody else has? Like if you were just to say, this is where everyone gets stuck. What is that challenge that maybe you had? Maybe it's different. Maybe you had a different challenge, but what is the challenge that you had? And what is the challenge you think most people get stuck on?
So I think for myself, I'm trying to warm these presses up. I didn't know which direction we we're going to go. So I was going to show, make sure they're warmed up and everything like that. But I think when I started, there was a few people on YouTube creating content, but most of the content that was missing was information about how to price and really like step-by-step tutorials on how to make money, right? Like a lot of people were showing you how to do screen printing, how to make a vinyl T-shirt, but nobody was showing me how to actually take those things and turn them into money. So for myself, that was where I started at with my content.
Very cool. So, and again, I guess I should have laid the groundwork a little bit about your background. So Stan is a little bit different than the world that I swim in. So I've been swimming in the cut and sew, where we actually get product made, stored in a warehouse, ship it out, jeans, intimates, shapewear, skincare, shampoo, stuff like that, which you gotta have a lot of money to do that. I mean, literally right now I'm sitting on $500,000 worth of inventory, and that's not, most people can't play in that game. And then you got the print on demand world where that's what kind of Launch Cart is really been focused on. But now bringing you in, and we're gonna help change the focus and expand the focus. But you have a great angle, which I love, and that is you show people how to set up a T-shirt business in their house, their office, wherever they're at. You teach them the equipment to buy, what kind of equipment they should buy, how to use the equipment, and then where to get the tools and the supplies for the equipment, and then how to buy the merchandise wholesale, like even better than print on demand prices, by probably 30% and maybe as much as 50 or 60% in some cases. And then you show them how to go get local business. Is that correct?
Right. Yep, 100%. I can only teach what I did, and my business was structured around that. And so when it comes to like starting or what you can do to maybe what I like to call it now is press on demand, is POD, new terminology, to press on demand, right? As those orders come in, you're able to press them up and send them out the door. And then my whole demographic, everything was based locally. So I was a supplier for schools locally, people who needed, shirts for family reunions and different things like that. All of that stuff was done local. I actually only ran ads one time, and I failed miserably at running ads. I tried to target a select demographic or a school area, and it only got seen by like one person, literally, because I did it all wrong. So everything that I was able to generate over the last, 9-10 years or so literally came from organic marketing, which was word of mouth, which was going to different events and just spreading out what I had for people and how I could be of service to them.
So let me ask you a question. So now you're doing this local marketing, and I want everyone to listen because everybody wants to do this to make money. We want to get their brand out there. They want to get this going. And depending on your personality, you might prefer to sit behind a computer and run Facebook ads and master, online marketing. Or if you got that kind of personality where you're charismatic, you like getting out, you don't like sitting behind a computer, boy, you can go knock on some doors. So what kind of events and what kind of doors would you knock on? And did you have flyers, brochures? Like, what did you do to get in the door? What was your strategy for marketing locally? And as I'm going to start switching back and forth, so as you're talking, I'm going to go full screen.
No problem. So for myself, it was all about just taking the time to learn what I had as a service, right? So I started where I was at. So I was playing football in college. I was coaching in high school. I was coaching in college. So I started there. I just tried to get those jobs from the people who were in front of me, right? And family and friends, it's obviously the next place you're obviously probably going to start there first. Once you let people know that you create and make T-shirts, what you find is that they just grow legs. You just have to be able to provide them a service that they can be proud of and know that, hey, if I refer XYZ person to you, you'll take care of them, right? So I often tell people to look at what happens on like Facebook. I need T-shirts, right? And how many people are tagging you, and what other people are they tagging, and how do you match up, right? So I don't pay attention to it that much anymore because I'm kind of like so far ahead. But every now and again, I'll take a look. Hey, I need T-shirts for my family reunion. A person tags me, and other people tag 4 other people who can print shirts. I'll take a look at those people and what they have to offer, right? But that just tells me that my name is at the top of mind, right? So ultimately, when it comes to marketing, you see a commercial or anything like that, that's really to program that person watching to become top of mind. So now when it comes up, I know when I see my name pop up that, hey, this person seen somebody talking about shirts, that means I came to the top of their mind as a perfect person to actually recommend to. So that was the first thing between family and friends. And obviously starting where you are with what's immediately around you. That could be your first market. So that could literally be anything. It could be from schools to sports to I wrote a book called Niches Bring Riches, which is basically anything that you're into, the people around you are your direct customer base. I have a clothing brand for the state of Delaware, which is called First State of Mind. And literally, I felt like I could go and vend at any event in the state of Delaware, and it would be exactly in my demographic because my brand was about a state. You know what I mean? So there are different pop-up shops, different town, little local places that have these events. Well, used to have these type of events like state fairs and different things like that I will be open and welcome to attend because of the simple fact that, those are people that I get their eyes on what I'm creating. They'll get to see it, and eventually down the line, hopefully they become customers.
Very cool. So let me back up and just kind of do this. I just thought of something I've never thought of before. So you know how that is. It's like you got to go with the thought, right? So here's what I'm doing. If you're watching this and you're the kind of person that likes to take notes and you're good at taking notes and you take good notes and you send them to me, like DM me and give me the notes of the action items, the aha moments, the great ideas that we can then share with everybody else who didn't, maybe watched it, whatever, didn't take notes. I'll give you $50 of launch coin in your launch card account. And I think what I'll do too is as I'm listening to Stan, because I'm here to learn too, because I've never done what he's doing, but but I'm a pretty smart guy. So I'm going to pick up some stuff. I'm going to come up with some ideas. I'm going to come up with a question at the very end of this interview. I'm going to ask you a question about something Stan shared with us, and we'll see the first person to answer that question. I'm going to give them $50 of Launchcoin in their account. So if you're listening and taking notes, you're going to probably win. You're going to probably win some money. And again, that's going to be the first person, because sometimes I do this. You got like 50 people that get the answer, but the first person. You got to be lightning quick on those comments. So I'm a parent of 5, right? At one point I had 3 people in sports, right? Baseball, football, basketball. The girls were in cheerleading. They were in soccer. They were in softball. Every year we had to go get, the name on the jersey, get the number, give the money, fill up the thing, go to the screen printer. And it was always the team mom, right, that had to organize this. And I was like, God, in this day and age, why don't you just you could just say, go find the team moms for the sports. Like on the days that everyone's signing up, hey, I provide T-shirts. I'll do all the hard work for you. You could go to the team moms. You talked about the state. I was in Phoenix the other day and visiting one of my godson, and there was a flyer in the lobby of this office building I went to, and it said, hey, sign up here and get your free T-shirt. And it was a T-shirt of the county of Scottsdale or something like that, promoting entrepreneurship. I'm like, what the heck? So it's everywhere. Like, it's everywhere where you can go. You just got to try to figure out what that is, get out there, get in front of people. And they should. Do you have a flyer that you teach people to create a flyer to hand out, or was there some leave behind?
I have not ever done that. I do create flyers. I did, do that type of stuff. I have not actually created something to teach people how to do it, right? So it's funny that you mentioned that. My cousin, I got him into the T-shirt business. He's in Maryland. He's doing quite well just off of the demographic that you talk about, Little League sports, moms. Now he's doing pretty much most of the league and the things that they need, from custom socks to arm sleeves to fan shirts and different things like that. And he was recently creating a banner, right? And I had to walk him through it, had to redesign it with him, because he said, I do heat pressing, I do vinyl, I do X, Y. He was naming all of these different print methods that awesome. He could possibly do. And I'm like, wait, why would you list all of those things out instead of the intended use, right? Because if you're a customer, you know nothing about T-shirts. You don't know if it's vinyl. You don't know if it's sublimation. You don't know if it's any of these different print methods. Rather, hey, I do clothes for different events. I do clothes for schools, sports teams. Put yourself in the shoes of the people coming to buy and what they're coming to buy for. So I have not actually taught that. It's just something that I did naturally because I taught myself graphic design and I always had to figure out how to sell my services. But I'm going to have to add that to my list of things to do.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing for another client that we have on Launchcart is we're creating a merch store. They have 1,000 reps that sell their product. And I'm like, all 1,000 of these reps need to be wearing embroidered shirts, hats. They all need a coffee mug or something to give away to their clients. And they all need business cards, flyers, and brochures. And I thought, if we made those, fill in your name here, fill in your blank here, you could get that kind of done. Same thing with you. It's like, with what your model is, it's so duplicatable. It's like it's seriously one of the easiest duplicatable models there is, because every city, everywhere you go, there's people that they get T-shirts for a million different reasons. And I guess we could even maybe brainstorm someday about we could have a little, I call them brain sprints, where it's like, okay, you name let's just do it for a second. So you name a particular segment or niche, and then I'll name one. We'll go back and forth and see how fast we can go.
All right, sports. Do you mean sports or colleges or?
No. Just like somebody who might buy some shirts, right? So again, for the person taking notes.
Football coach.
So I'll say a restaurant.
I was gonna say bakery store owner.
A yoga studio.
Corporate bank.
A karate studio.
Taxi guy.
One of these CBD or places that sell CBD and all that kind of stuff, because they have the weed stuff and all that stuff, right?
Yep, a clothing brand store.
Ooh, how about this? How about PTA groups?
How about the police department?
Ooh, the police department. How about every kind of league you can think of? Softball leagues, soccer leagues, baseball leagues, and I'm talking about the leagues where there's adults in them, right? The co-ed leagues, the bowling leagues, everything like that.
How about the politicians?
Ooh, politicians is good. We ended up getting a contract with the presidential candidate. We did $250,000 worth of sales and made over $50,000 profit in 2 months.
True.
Politicians is a never ending, always good, always done, and they all need the help. And you can, and they don't care about making the profits. They'll give you all the profits. They just need a platform and somebody to make them for them. Very good.
Yep. Try to tell the story about why they should win.
I'm running out of ideas. How about like dog walkers?
Definitely. How about Uber and Lyft and DoorDash? They need uniforms. Amazon.
Oh, anybody that needs uniforms. See, that's good, right? That's awesome. So anyway, you guys get the point, right? It's just like you can make your list. And again, going back to what Stan said a few minutes ago, start with your warm list. Let your family and friends know this is your new side hustle. This is your new business. This is whatever it is. I would recommend getting some cards and some flyers and some leave behinds so people can know. And then I will say this, for a guy that's taught marketing for decades, and you tell me what you do about this, Stan. Once you get the client base, what do you do to get more business out of that existing client base? And what do you do to get referrals out of that client base?
So some of the techniques that I used to use is I would do no setup fees. And what I mean by no setup fees, I'm sorry, the bell's going off because we're actually in the store. By no setup fees, what I would do is I would say, hey, just refer somebody else to me. You refer me some new business. We don't have to worry about, the $25 setup fee. Another thing would be, Greg, can you take over for 2 seconds?
Sure.
Let me grab this door.
So I guess the point that I want to make, I kind of want to see what he does, is that, the most expensive part of any business, whether you're marketing online or marketing local community or whatever you're doing, it's getting the customer. That customer acquisition cost is the most expensive cost of your business. And most entrepreneurs fail at referral marketing, at follow-up marketing, and getting more money out of an existing customer. Right. So as you grow, you can expand your product line. As you grow, you can expand your network. And so again, I know Stan does this because the reason we're talking is because Stan does this. Stan also finds ways to take the relationship he makes from this business and introduce them to other people and make some finder's fees or some commissions for referring people. So he's going to refer us business. I'm going to refer him business. And so as you build your business, you have to think this way of what you do to get return business and referral business. So I just wanted to kind of see what you do to do that on the t-shirt side.
I got one more thing. So sometimes a customer orders something and I will actually throw something else in there that they didn't order, right? You throw in a hat if they ordered some hoodies, you throw in a extra t-shirt or a different colorway. These are all things that, oh man, that looks pretty good. I want to know what size that person wears because I'm going to give them something sometimes a little bit extra just so that they can have it in their mind like, oh, well, this person ordered 50 t-shirts, but now I threw in a hoodie. And now that person wants a hoodie and everybody else wants a hoodie, right? So it's like, well, you got a hoodie. Can I get a hoodie or something like that? I like to do those things, especially with sports teams, right? I'll take a sports team and they'll order their whatever they need for practice, their shorts, their t-shirt. But I'll create maybe 20 different shirts to kind of help the coach create some interest amongst the team, create competition. And those things really go a long way. Because if they win a big game or they got a rivalry game, now that coach is coming back saying, hey, you remember you designed that weightlifting shirt in the summertime? We need to do something like that for us beating our biggest rival or something like that. So those are just little things. It's always nice to throw something else extra in there that they may not have been thinking about. And also just following up with customers, checking in on them, knowing what time of year that person normally orders, right? All apparel decorators know, when football season or school is coming back into session, it's time to get back on the phone with those coaches and make sure you're ahead of the curve when it comes up to them ordering, designing mock-ups that look cool and trendy, different things like that.
No, that's very, very cool. And so the idea is that the business is out there, right? And you got to do this follow-up business. You're building a business. So I want to talk about money because, everyone's doing this to help change their life, right? So I have a very simple way of kind of articulating my thought process. I'm going to kind of share it with you, and then you kind of tell me. So I know if I'm working at a job, I know what my hourly wage is, I know what my salary is. So if that's your baseline, going, I'm getting paid $20 an hour, $50 an hour, whatever that number is, that's your baseline, right? So you say, okay, if I'm going to exchange time and do something else to get some financial freedom, can I make that and then some? And really, you want to make that times at least 5, right? If I'm making $15 an hour, can I make $75 an hour doing this business? So I don't know if you've ever calculated what you guys do from that standpoint, but I want to start there, and then I'm going to kind of ask you some questions that take us up this money grid. So have you ever kind of calculated on an hourly basis? Somebody says, yeah, I want to get in this. I'm a good charismatic guy. I'm connected within the community. I got kids out there. I think I could bring in some business. What kind of hourly income could they make for the time they put into the business?
So for myself, man, I kind of had the same notions as you did, right? To back it up a little bit. When it comes to like being an entrepreneur, we deserve a lot more money. You say, well, how do you come up with your hourly rate? It's like, well, think about all of the jobs in these different departments that these big companies have, right? You can say there's the marketing department, there's the sales department, there's the customer service department, there is the janitors. There's, let's just say, 4, if not 5 different departments that they all get paid, let's say $15 an hour. Well, if it's 4 departments, that means I need to be making $60 an hour as a solopreneur, because I got to wear all of those different hats, and it can go higher than that, right? So that's where I started from, and building it up from there. So to talk, I don't think of it as an hourly wage, because it's my business. Only when I had to pay my employee do I start to think about what I'm making hourly. But ultimately, just to think about, I can knock out 4 shirts in an hour doing custom T-shirts from start to finish, meaning a different customer comes in, they want a different design, and I want to have that design done in 15 minutes. So that's for an hour, and on there I would charge, let's say, $25 per shirt. Now I would subtract the shirt cost and the vinyl cost to keep it simple. It would be $5. So I would be profiting about $20 a shirt, give or take $20 to $15 a shirt, and I'll be right at that $80 or that $60 an hour range. Now you can take that same hour's worth of time, and you can do a sports team where you profit maybe only $5 a shirt, but you can knock out 50 of them in an hour or 100 of them in an hour, depending on your print method. And now you're talking about, 5 times 50 is $250 in an hour, or you're talking about, something a little bit more, depending on if it's 100 shirts. Now you're profiting $5 a shirt. For 100 shirts, that's $500 in an hour, right? But this is just the breakdown of per job basis. Is kind of how I like to look at it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So you think about that. And then I also like to talk to, so I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I'm 59. I've been doing this stuff for since I was 17 years old. So, but I like that. There's a lot of people, especially what happened with COVID, going, dude, I'm sick of this, or I got laid off, and I want to build something. I want to have some financial freedom. And a lot of people want to do the t-shirt business. So it's great. And I also like to think about, okay, if you made $250 a month extra in profit and that paid your car payment, would that help? Of course it would, right? If you made an extra $500 or $1,000 a month or whatever that was, and that made 2 car payments in your insurance, would that help? So I always try to tell people to step up that ladder on the income stream, going set these goals here and here, and then climb up that ladder. And then you get to a point where now, like how long, if you really work at this and you take advice from guys like you and you put your effort into it and you're good at what you do, how long would it take you to make, say, $3,000 a month? So can you come out the gates and do that?
You can come out of the gate and do that if you have the clientele, right? I want to assume the worst case scenario. So to give you the blueprint for what I lay out for people is, the worst case scenario is nothing. You're the person that really doesn't want to get out too much. You don't have a base to start with. And you're going to take the first 30 days to learn the craft, right? You're going to get your machines. You're going to start to learn stuff. You're going to produce stuff for yourself and your mothers and your family, your cousins, and different things like that in that first 30 days. Then after that, you should already be making money, but then you should be having that ball rolling. For example, I had a guy who nothing going on. We were going back and forth about how he was going to pay for his equipment. He decided to put it on his credit card over financing, and in 15 days, he made his $1,200 investment back in his first 15 days, right? So it all is going to come down to how much work you put in, and then also who you know, because that is going to be your first customer base. I would say, if I had to put a time frame on it, in order to create like a $3,500 to a $5,000 a month from zero, I would say in about 4 to 6 months, you should be in pursuit of getting that $3,000 a month, because you just have to first understand your business, and then you just have to get yourself in front of people. how long it takes you to get yourself in front of people. If you're just looking to get business off of Instagram, it's going to be a lot more difficult depending on what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, no, and you think about that, and there's different influencers in your area too. So I'll give you an example. So my daughter was friends with a girl, and it turned out that her dad was the mayor. So I got to know the mayor of Escondido real well. So I'm thinking to myself, you know, you leverage the relationships, your doctor, your dentist, who do you know? Like every orthodontist, you know, they give braces to every kid in the whole community, right? So you go cut a deal with them and go, you know, hey, I've been giving you money for a long time. Can you refer me some business and let people know? Can I leave my business cards here? So there's a lot of ways to do that. And it's really, really easy. And again, but the point is that we always like to say is that there's no get rich quick scheme. You just don't turn on the wicket and have the funnel start pouring out tomorrow. But you can build a business. You can replace your current job. And so what's the upside? Like, what's the top earners in your community or that you think of that people could make doing this business? There's probably no upside, but
I mean, as far as like how much income,
yeah,
man, I've had $20,000 months doing trending designs. You know, there's people who out here, you know, you met Charles, who's done way more than that, just, you know, off of ads. What I like to tell people is if you're going to be hands-on, you don't want that splurge or that thing that gets you that big break to happen too fast, because what you do, if you fumble that, you may never get another opportunity, right? So I've had crazy months for doing different things. I like football and sports, like you said. Who you know, my friends are getting high school jobs now. I'm calling them. All right, listen, I know you got that job. You know, can we get what's up with the shirt business? What you find in this industry is that it's times of the year, right? Back to school times at the beginning of every sports season, football has the biggest team, so they normally spend the most money. But those are times that you kind of you cultivate and you try to build your relationships around those seasons based off of those things, right? But it's also going to depend on your demographic. I visited a print shop in where was I just at? In Oakland, California, this past weekend, and he offers clothes to clothing brands, right? And he does different packages and deals. And he looked up, he literally said to me, I looked up and I didn't know that was how much money these, you know, my customers had spent. I'm so wrapped up in getting the business done, doing it. Once I got my online store rolling, the money was just pouring in. Before, he didn't have one until he opened his online store just before COVID. So he realized that he was kind of stunning his own growth in the sense that it was no way for you to just go onto his website and order before that. So everything was done by hand, right? So now it's like, well, I cut on my online thing and I'm selling these packages to people trying to start clothing brands. And I looked up and it was like, wow, I had that much money. And it was funny because he had got a 100,000 shirt order that he had to like almost shut down his whole production for. And he got the deposit and he looked in the bank. He said, well, I know how much they were sending me. But at the same time, he asked his wife, well, how much money was in here before? Because, wow, I didn't know we had accumulated that much money, because when you're doing online business, sometimes you don't see it if that's not what you're used to looking for.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So that's a great segue for me to talk about one thing, and then I want to kind of jump into the mechanics of it. So one of the things that Stan and I talked a little bit about, and I'm pretty sure we're going to work together on this, and that is, so you take the time to build this local business, and then you say, okay, I got this high school, and I'm doing stuff for the high school, and I'm doing their stuff for the high school. But what if I built a store for the high school, right? And then I get the business, I do the hand-to-hand, I do the handshakes, I get that relationship, and I say, you know what, I did something even better. Here's a site. All you got to do is send people here, and you can put out flyers. And then I even built in a little bit of profit for you guys so you could be a fundraiser for your cheerleading club, because they're always trying to raise money. Like, have you ever been to a school that wasn't trying to raise money? And now it becomes automated, and then now you have an automated business. And one of the things that really attracted Stan to LaunchCart is our multi-store management. The idea that you could have one log-on and create multiple stores and not have to pay a monthly fee like Shopify for each store really opens the door for what's going on. And I'll pin this off with this, saying, when you do something like that, you've taken that hard-earned energy you've worked for with the relationships, and now you start to put it on autopilot. You're automating the ability for the cash register to ring. And you literally, and again, one of the things that we do is we manage stores for celebrities, influencers, and brands, right? So I went and pitched the restaurant across the street. I'm like, hey, I'll build you a store for $800. Give me $800 of credit of food because I eat here all the time. and I'll manage a store for you for 10% of revenues. Now, are they going to sell a lot of t-shirts and hats? No, but I get $800 of free food. It takes me a couple hours to build the store. It's all print on demand, so it's a little bit different. I'm not doing what you're doing. Okay, so I think that's a good automation upsell or path for your business and your people. So let's talk about the mechanics. Like for you to do what you do, I'm going to go full screen. You show your technology and your heat presses and your hat presses, and show all that what you need to make this all work.
So I want to make this relevant for you guys. If you guys are on LaunchCart, you're currently doing print on demand, or whatever print methods you're using from however you're filling your orders. And actually, one of the person who was just at the door was coming to pick up her merch. I actually fill her orders for her, then she takes them and ships them. So I'm going to show you guys how fast it is. I can create a product that is ready to go out of the door. I'm going to be using super color transfers, and you can also use other transfer companies. The main two I use is super color and top transfers. So I have a shirt here, and this gets a front print and a neck label, right? So we're going to do a basic logo tee of hers. Right.
Okay, so real quick, let me ask you about these transfers, because I've heard of them, but I don't really know. So do you take your artwork and send it to the company, and they make the transfers and then mail the transfers back to you?
Yep. So
okay,
basically you have your artwork done. Whoever did your artwork, your graphic designer, you take that, you submit it, and they send you your artwork, on different sheets. So this is her logo, and this is one of her designs. So we get a plethora of their designs. We have a box full of hers. She has a bunch of them. And as the orders come in, we literally, print on demand. We press on demand. So I grab my shirt here. This is a next level 3900 women's cut t-shirt. This shirt is about $3. So I would take this. My heat press is on. This is a Jodo heat press from Heat Transfer Warehouse. I have a complete review of every heat press almost under $1,000 on my YouTube channel.
Hey, let me ask you a question about the shirt. When you say the shirt's $3, is there a minimum order quantity? Do I have to order 100 of them? Can I get one of them? How's that work?
Okay, so if you have a business license, you get wholesale accounts directly with distributors or the brand manufacturer. So what they give you when you sign up, once you have a business license, is case pricing. So the price is $3 and maybe, let's say, 19 cents, $3.09, whatever it may be, roughly per shirt. Doesn't matter how many you order. Now, if you order 500, 1,000, you can call your rep up and you might be able to save another 5 or 10 cents, right? So in this industry, when it comes to actual blank garments, these are what I would like to say. People want to save pennies and nickels. If you let them save a quarter or a dime, then it's even more than that, right? The beauty about using transfers is that today I could be printing this on this white shirt. I could be printing this on this on this gray hoodie. I could be printing this on another style of t-shirt or whatever the case is. I have no inventory of a sort, right? We just have a bunch of blank shirts and a bunch of different designs. We literally have a box of probably over 30 designs of hers just waiting to be ordered and pressed up, right? So it's kind of some upfront fees, but there is a trade-off in a sense of print on demand. When it comes to print on demand, you have no inventory at all. You don't see the shirt. But however, the downside to print on demand is that you don't know the quality going out the door, and you can't necessarily give them anything custom really of a sort. Just kind of like, you can't brand your packaging when you send it out a little bit because it's just coming from a fulfillment center, which has its benefits. Don't get me wrong. So this shirt is about, like I said, $3. This here is a 12 by, I think it's about 3 inches print. This will probably run you about $3.50. So now in about 15 seconds here, I'm going to line this artwork up. I just use my hands. There are tools to help you do this until you're comfortable. Line this up here across the chest, bow, bow. And in 15 seconds, I'll have a design ready to go. And this shirt is now $6, but it won't stop there. I'm going to grab a neck label. Grab my scissors here. I'll grab a neck label, and I'm going to throw a neck label inside of this shirt as well. So now we got a logo tee ready to go, right? So next thing I got to do, this is a size small. I have a little neck label tags here. I'm going to cut it apart. Take my size small size tag, and I'm going to bring you guys over to the hat press over here. I'm going to throw this over here. This neck label, it's about 60 cents for full color. If you get like a one color neck labels like you guys see in this one here, it's a little bit cheaper.
And does that shirt you're working with, does it have tear out labels, or because I know the belt comes with tear out labels too, some of them.
Yep. So once I press this in here, and I press these in for about 10 seconds, I don't go to full 15 for the neck label. Take that, peel that off, and now we take this here, which was next level. I tear that off, and now we have a Trash Talk Tees t-shirt ready to go out the door, and we're in it at maybe $7. And this is full color image, inside neck tag. Sometimes, depending on the design, when we actually put the logo on the front of the shirt, we don't put a logo on the sleeve for, and we're pretty much done and good to go there.
That's very cool. So that's a nice little touch. And so you can see how not only can you do this locally, but you might find other people that want that added little extra neck label and multiple hits. And again, some of these print on demand companies charge a lot for that, as well as, they don't give you quite the hands-on. Again, you think about Printful, so we use Printful and we love Printful, but they do 1 million orders a month. So your order's one of 1 million. So if it's out of tilter, if it's a little bit off, it just happens. Print on demand happens. Where if you're working with somebody like you or somebody in your network, maybe they're going to put more personal touch into that. And I know my son has a brand called Movement Towards Improvement, and he ordered 7 hats from Printful, and 6 of them were perfect, and 1 of them was off. He's like, I can't use Printful. It's like
Yes, the margin for error is very, very slim. So I have a question for you. What is the average cost of a print-on-demand shirt, right? Like a front print, neck label.
Well, depending on the quality. So like with Printful, a Gildan is $7.95, and that's
right.
print. So and then a Bella might be $11.95, $12.95. So
right.
it kind of ranges in between there, and then long sleeves and short sleeves and hoodies. And then that's printed. And then, of course, they pick, pack, and ship it. Because now the next thing is you got this. And the other thing about the local business is you're really not messing with folding it up, putting in a shrink wrap bag, putting in a packing slip, and then shipping it out to somebody, right?
Well, locally, no. Locally, we just box them back up. She just picked her shirts up. She's going to go home and bag it and tag it and do her thing herself. But ultimately, to keep it on path with what you guys or what your audience currently is doing, they would be responsible for packing and shipping. So here on this table here, this is a t-shirt folder. Kind of got to clear off all this stuff out of the way here. But we would go ahead and fold this thing up.
Oh, that's a cool little tool. I've seen those.
Yep. So we just take this here. We lay our shirt out. Boom. 1, 2. I got to grab this here. 3. Our shirt's folded, ready to go. I have some mailers somewhere. Here's a clear plastic film. This isn't the actual poly mailer that I use. I usually use a black one, but my shipping station is actually at home. But basically, we would take this shirt here, slide it in. And if you buy a pack of these, man, they're dirt cheap, maybe 15 cents a piece, if that, right? And now we close it up, and then technically we slap our label off of it from the shipping platform or from our e-commerce platform and drop it off in the mail. And honestly, you should be making money off of shipping. If you have an account like stamps.com and different things like that, you should be making $1 or $2 per order when it comes to shipping, which will cover for your labels and your packaging and different things like that. And the beauty about this is you got business cards. You throw your business cards in here. You got a 10% off your next order coupon. You throw that in here. You do all of those things, and now you provide a personal touch. And what I was kind of telling people before was, even if you're using some of these other e-commerce platforms like Etsy and different things like that, you want to be able to brand your stuff. So when you send it out to them, they know that they can come directly to you and get the same quality and basically kind of like cut that middleman out as well. You should always have your own store. And that's where I see the true benefit to Launch Cart. If you're just starting out with Launch Cart or you're just starting out with the e-commerce platform, you don't know how much money you're going to make. You don't know how many sales you're going to get. You don't know if it's going to roll in the first day or is it going to roll in 3 months from now. You never know. And the fact that you can only pay per order, basically, it kind of limits your risk and people losing when they're already putting their money together to get started. And they don't see it just going out the way and their website is not actually getting any traffic or getting use out of it. But literally, you can have a order from start to finish. And I say on average, man, you'll save about $5 per shirt, right? Assuming that you're not using Gilded. If you're using Gilded, but you can get these transfers for as little as like 40 cents, 75 cents, 15 cents, right? For something like this with a one color print. And basically you take that, a Gilded shirt in wholesale is like $2.56. You put a 15-cent transfer on it, you're still saving $4 per order. And if you get a lot of orders, that's a lot of money coming back into your pocket. But it is a little bit of work. You know, it's not screen printing a lot of ink and overhead, but a $200 to $1,000 heat press anywhere in that range, and you're off to the races.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I said, you know, for maybe people, you get started on Launch Cart, you hook up print on demand, you're cutting into your profits, you know, significantly as compared to what you can do here. And then if you know and you start to feel comfortable about I'm getting the clients, I'm getting this stuff done, then you can go make the investment. Because that was going to be my next question. How much does the heat press cost? How much does the hat press cost? And if that's the only two pieces of equipment I need, how much am I going to invest in those equipment? And again, let me say this about everything we're talking about. Like, you are investing in you. And there's the best investment on planet Earth. It's not a stock. It's not a bond. It's not Facebook. It's not Google. It's not Apple stock. It's investing in you. So the fact that you're sitting here listening to us now, you're investing in yourself. So I applaud you for that, right? So, and everything we're talking about, you're investing in a skill set. It's very rewarding. It feels good. I mean, doesn't it feel good when you get a customer and you get, they look at it, they go, oh, that's fantastic, right? So you're investing in yourself. You're making an investment in your future. And then I started thinking about what you were doing. I did this. I actually had a screen printer do it, and we were kind of doing this, but I remember hiring all kinds of kids because we had to fulfill like 2,000 orders, and we were filling bags and stuff. And I hired kids, and that was kind of fun too, hiring kids that my kids knew, and we were doing fulfillment type stuff. But so, how much does it cost for these machines?
All right, so you can start for as little as $200 if you got to go over like an Amazon press. I tell people literally come up with a budget. Doesn't matter. I started my t-shirt business with $0, with no money. I didn't have any knowledge outside of how to do artwork, and I didn't buy any equipment up front. So I started with no money, right? But in order to get a heat press, you got to invest something. The cheapest one that I kind of recommend is the Tussie. It's on Amazon. It's literally like $189. It might be like $215 shipped or something like that. That's where I start. There may be some little cheaper ones, $165 on there. And I really recommend people get at least a 15 by 15 heat press. And then the more money you have, the better the press you can get. This one's a Jodo. My favorite is the Signature Series, which is the same brand of that hat press. They have a $165 hat press on Amazon. They have a lower model. This one might be $329. This one I think is about, I want to say $700, but I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that, right? I've run through a lot of heat presses, just testing them out and doing some reviews on them. And then from there, like I said, if you want full color artworks, it could be as little as much as the big size print, the biggest one possible, $8 a print, to some of the smaller ones, $3.29, just in the price range, depending on the size of the graphic. You can get one color designs like this here for $7.
Oh yeah, we just lost your audio.
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back. Yep. In and out. He went out and he came back, and then he went out and he came back. Hey, so we're going to get ready for Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type those in the chat. I'll see them. At least I hope. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. I'm on my main phone. Usually the YouTube phone has the one that has the static. So my main phone, as my daughter called me, probably reminded me that I need to pick her up for dance tonight. But But I was just gonna finish up and say you can get, these as cheap as 75 cents to 40 cents to 15 cents, depending on the company that you want to go with. And you can be off to the races. Like I said, that shirt that we just made was probably $6, and that's because it's a full color design on it. You can go, I think we calculated up to like $4.50 with a one color print on the front, a one color sleeve, and a one color neck label, depending on how you create your brand and different things like that.
Very cool. All right, so let's answer a few questions. So Tish asked, where do we purchase those neck labels, and are those neck labels transfers? And luckily, yeah, those neck labels was a transfer because they used the heat press to do it. But do you get those from the same place you get your other transfers from, or is it different?
So the ones that I have are from Supercolor. They are not available yet. They will be. But I actually have neck labels on my website, tshirtsizehustle.com. There are the one color neck labels, which, like I said earlier, look like this here. They come on a sheet. You cut out what you need, and you hold it out. They're about 300 pieces, or about $75 if you have your artwork. It's a $25 design fee if you don't have your artwork, and you get 300 of them, and I think it comes out to like 15 cents.
Yeah. Everybody watching, go to tshirtsidehustle.com, and also go to YouTube and just search for the T-Shirt Side Hustle, and then follow his channel. He's got some amazing videos on there. He's got a huge community, over 70,000 people follow his videos for what he's talking about. So make sure you go to his website, check it out, and go to YouTube and subscribe to his channel. So, okay, let me see if I find any other questions in here. So I saw this. I'm going to try to find it. Or actually, I think Tish said this. He said, where is it? Oh, I've done that, and then they sold my designs to other people. And I'm not sure. It was back when we were talking about designs and getting designs. And you know what? Unfortunately, there's a lot of unscrupulous people in this world, and they steal and sell your designs. So
I got a message about that earlier. This guy's printing my stuff up. So first and foremost, these transfer companies are not, well, the ones that I deal with, at least the ones that I know who are professional, are not just going out and saying, hey, I printed this up for Trash Talk Tees. This design is now available for sale, right? What's happening is someone is taking that design, looking at it, recreating it, and sending it in to get printed, right? And if you have something basic, man, people out here, they literally just steal from Nike. They'll print Nike, they'll print all of these different things. The best thing that you can honestly do, which those are trademark brands, the best thing is to execute along your idea. This lady here, Trash Talk Tees, is a part of my channel, and someone ripped off her whole design and came up with Mr. Trash Talk Tees and started to create stuff. But the community wasn't for it. Her community's not for it. And basically within a few hours, that whole site, the whole Instagram was deleted and changed, right? Because if you execute along the idea, people understand what's going on. There is a lot of scrupulous people out here not trying to do their own due diligence, not trying to put their own effort in to come up with some of the things because they see somebody else making money off of it. They want to copy and duplicate it. You just have to keep doing your due diligence, keep pushing forward, and keep coming up with new things, right? Myself personally, I don't get attached to my designs. Tomorrow I may have a brand new one. I may forget about this one and move on to the next one. If you have something really good, you should definitely see a trademark attorney, get it trademarked if it's generating you funds and different things like that, and run with it. I guess I roll right into that question.
Yeah, you did. Jarek asked a question, right? So, and I have a lot of experience with trademark and intellectual property, and I filed lots of it, and I even got a patent that I filed and got issued in my name. And I'll say this about that. So it's anywhere from $750 and up to file a trademark. And then there's various different channels, right? So it's like I get a trademark for this or categories, I meant not channels, categories for, apparel or maybe for shoes or whatever that is, right? So, and you got to pay for each category. And if you're building a brand and you're set dead on building a brand, absolutely you should file a trademark, right? If you're doing this as a side hustle to make money, you got to sell a fair amount of shirts to make up that $750, $7,000 to get that done. And then there's no guarantee you're going to get issued that. But what I would do to tell everyone is you just Google trademark search. You're going to get to a uspto.org search place, and you can search a name, a logo, and because what you really want to find out is if you think you have a cool name or a cool design, does somebody else have it that they might come after you? So I'll give you an example. So I just got a call, and I have a little sticky note here somewhere. The guy that owns the trademark on free hugs. So he filed a trademark on free hugs. If you Google free hug t-shirts, you'll see lots of people are selling free hug t-shirts. So he wants to hire me to build a store for him, manage the store for him, and then he wants to get an attorney and send letters to everybody saying, hey, we own that trademark. You cannot sell those. Cease and desist. And then he kind of feels like when COVID really kind of opens back up, the free hug thing is going to be a big deal, and he can make a lot of money. So you see how that's a brand. And I'll tell you another thing. I know the guy that owns the trademark Lifeguard. You know the red square and Lifeguard? That's a trademark by an individual. He makes about $1 million a year and doesn't do anything but collect royalties from people he's licensed that mark to. Right? Same thing with a smiley face. That's a trademark too, the smiley face. So the right design and the right stuff and the right strategy, definitely for sure. But if you're out there trying to make money, and I'll tell you a quick little story that Stan doesn't know. We were doing t-shirt sales back in 2015, 2016, 2017. And guys that I was working with, we were creating 4 to 5 new designs every day, putting them on designs and mock-ups every day and running Facebook ads and testing them. And we might go 5 designs today, 5 designs tomorrow, 5 designs. And we might go 2 weeks and they're all losers. And then all of a sudden we hit one design and we sell 50,000 shirts. So I love what Stan's doing because it kind of takes it to a different level of local. And theoretically, if you start doing local and you start getting that local community, you can start testing some designs with local. And if it starts going off local, you know it's going to go good online, right? So kind of interesting there.
The sky's the limit. When you produce things yourself, you can get even more creative, right? You can get creative with mock-ups and different things like that as well. But when you create things yourself, you can get very, very creative. You know, we were hands-on. I'm in a store right now. I share this store, and my new store is actually under construction around the corner here. But I'm in a store of a clothing brand with my mentor, the person who put me into the game, and he was literally a screen printer, right? And now it's like for years I'm like, yo, you should make this a thing, make it a thing. And last year, around the year before last, is actually 2019, we actually created this new logo. And it went crazy in our area. And we just do it for fun, right? We put it out, we make it for fun because naturally we are printers, but you never know what design is going to take off. So this little logo patch here literally has gone crazy and sold a ton of units as far as how everything is produced and made. It's literally went crazy in our local area. And now the store is pretty much dedicated to this brand. And the funny thing about it is, some of the old designs that he never really put out or that only his friends wore or only people around us actually wore, now we bring those back out and they're actually fresh and new to the new audience and they're selling like hotcakes. So it becomes one of those things where, you know, once you know how to produce some things, you test things out like he's saying, and you never know which design is going to actually hit off for what you got going on. This one here is a super old design. This is actually one of my favorites. Just because I got my hands in a lot of things, but it's an octopus. He probably made this in like 2013 originally, right? And, you know, maybe 4 or 5 units, his friends was wearing it and different things like that. But now it deserves its place in the store because he has a buzz from another design. And now all of those old designs get to come back to life and they're brand new.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Okay, so Kevin's asking the question, what if he doesn't have time to actually build a store, an e-com store? On LaunchCart, we do have a built for you service. So if you say, I want to get somebody to help me build my store because I'm not a tech person, but I want to have a store, just go to LaunchCart, our group, and ask or direct message me. We do have a whole division that we build stores for people because some people just don't want to deal with the technology. I get that. Crosstown 619, I watched, learned, and started my press business from watching Stan the Man.
How about that?
Rich Hustle Ninja in 2020 with no experience. Got a heat press. Now he's learning on LaunchCart. All right, very cool. Thanks for joining us. All right, Jerk says thanks for the info. Okay. And one last thing. Good information. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. All right, last call for questions and we'll wrap it up. So what would be what do you Do you ever talk about mindset with what you're doing and how you teach and train?
All the time, because as an entrepreneur, it's important, right? Like my mindset changes, what I'm focusing on changes, and I kind of try to define years. In 2019, it was the year of the finishing touches. Finishing off. We were creating clothes and not putting labels in them. Just from what I seen around, going around, just tearing off the top tag of next level, leaving the size tag, and not actually branding it yourself. This year, it became mass season for us. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna tuck your tail and run, or are you going to pivot in your business? And I was probably one of the first people like gung ho about like, hey, get masks, get masks. And I sold a ton of masks before the big companies in our industry actually got them. I had about a 4-week run where I was just going crazy, just providing people with masks to customize in their business. But your mindset is very, very important, because when you run your own business, what I tell people is when you're a solopreneur, you really own your own job. Yeah, you run a business, but if you're not working and you having a bad day or you're sick, the business isn't making any money from a general standpoint. If I go on vacation, I'm not making funds. So it's like you have to come correct. Nobody's going to tell you to get up when you quit your job. Nobody's going to tell you to go to the store and open it up. You know what I mean? So these are all things that happen to us that we have to figure out how to deal with, especially if you're not used to it. I'm like you. I started being an entrepreneur very, very young and early, doing different things, trying to find my way. But I always had that attitude like, hey, man, I'll figure it out. And, I might have to rob Peter to pay Paul. But after a while, you get good at what you do. You figure it out. But without the correct mind state, man, you can find yourself, I was depressed for, a good period of time, maybe like 4 months at one point. And, I just watched my bank account just dwindle and dwindle and dwindle just because of my mind. I couldn't get myself out of the funk that I was in order to get myself back working. And if you think about it, I really got off my butt because I ran out of money. I got one last, big check. I was coaching football at the time. And I got down to my last $1,000. I went to Atlanta to just like clear my mind, clear my head. I finished my books and I came back home with about $200. I spent about $800 to get copyright and copyrights as far as the ISBN stuff like that to get my mind right when I came back. And then I was, back off to the races. But your mindset is more important than anything else, man. You can figure the rest out, but if you don't have the right mind state to persevere and get through tough times, it's going to be a tough sell.
No, I appreciate that. And I always like to bring it up because to me, you can't lose weight. You can't build a business. You can't make money. You can't change your life. You can't be happy. It's all within this 5 inches between your 2 ears, right? And so by listening to us, applaud yourself that you hopefully you learned something. You got some value. You got some insight. Maybe you got some aha moments. But the biggest thing is you can do it. Like literally, you can do it. You can do this. If you want to do this, it's about you can do it. And it's about consuming everyday information that helps you move forward. Like my son's brand, movement towards improvement. Every day, just work on moving toward improving every day. Like and go into it not with the I want the fast food McDonald's like paycheck. Go into it like I want to change my life. So 2 years from now, I do not want to wake up in the same situation I am today. Right. But if you say, I don't want to wake up a month from now in the same situation I'm today, that might be relevant. But my point is like, look, take a long-term approach, put the strategies in place, get the right mentors, the right technology, the right tools, the right people around you, and you literally can do it. And I know one of my favorite things I always tell kids, young kids, like 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, or people that are in college, I ask them, I say, do you want to make $100,000 a year? They go, yeah. I go, do you want to make $200,000 a year? And they go, yeah. So you want to make $300,000 a year? And they go, yeah. I said, well, let's learn how to do that. Right? Just stop and pause. And you think about how simple that statement is. You want to make $30,000 a year on a side hustle? Learn how to do that. Like literally, just think about that. And there are people that teach that. And there's people that have been there, done that. And I'm going to go back to, so I'm going to ask my question. Stan was very, very good at sharing with you. If you do the work and you get going, he was very conservative. How many months did he say it would take for you to get to where you could build a $3,000 to $5,000 a month income? He asked that, about 30 minutes ago. So the first person to put that quote in there or put the number of months, I'm going to give you $50 of launch coin in your launch coin account. So I'm going to find whoever answers that first, right? So he said how many months it would take, right, for you to generate $3 to $5 grand. And for most people around this country, they can fire their boss and work for themselves and then grow from there, right? So get to that mindset. Oh, see now Tish is giving us 2 months. You can't do 2 months.
I did give in her defense, I gave a range.
Okay.
I did give a range.
Okay, well, in that case, then I guess that is right then. I think that's the right answer. All right, so I'll PM you and get that going. So you think about that, and that's a fairly quick, side hustle to replace your job. And then you can get to 100 grand a month. And I was telling Stan, there's a guy that I watched an interview the other day selling t-shirts online. And when you learn how to run ads and take it to the next level and you have the budget to do it, these guys did $28 million last year selling t-shirts online. $28 million. They paid him and his girlfriend, not even his wife, they paid $2.3 million for their house, cash. So the upside is there. It's fun. It's a great community. Now with COVID, it just opens up more and more doors. So make sure you continue to get on these webinars, follow guys like Stan, watch the videos. And I tell people at minimum, spend 20 minutes a day moving towards improving. Just 20 minutes, just like commit to 20 minutes a day at minimum and do more if you can. You got any last little comments and then we'll wrap it up here, Stan?
Nope. I think for myself, I like to, my favorite quote is you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That's very, very important. And, just get going, definitely be willing to take the stairs, but every time somebody offers you an elevator for a floor or two, you take that and you be grateful and then you just keep it rolling.
Okay, cool. Hey, they are asking what companies do you recommend for transfer printers? I know you said it, but where do you get your transfers from?
So for full color designs, I use Supercolor. It's SUPACOLOR, Supercolor. And then for my one color designs, I use Top Transfers, and that's TOPP transfers.com. Those are my two main companies. If you look at my channel, you'll find them in any of the descriptions of any of my videos. You'll find both of those. There are other companies out here. F&M Expressions, 613 Originals. There are a few other ones out here as well that you can test out. There's a lot of them. But those are the main two that I use. And yeah.
Very cool. Okay, there's one more question. I'm going to answer this question and see if you have anything. So name a few hot niches right now. There's a number of niches that are always hot. Family, and again, I'm talking from the advertising and online world, right? So there's the family world, the grandma's world, the getting married world, the birthday world, the wedding world, because it's always happening. The mamas, the little babies are being born like crazy because of COVID. And moms buy everything. I have a young daughter who's 26. She's like, every day we're getting something delivered to our house. So those are always hot niches. Pet niches, like again, and then if you can take your pet niche going, my grandma loves her pug. My grandma loves her chihuahua. And you combine one niche with another niche, designs like that always do well. How about you?
No, I think you're right, man. I think I learned in photography, it's pets, weddings, and children. Right, like those are the photography, and you would think pets would not be number one, but for some odd reason, pets is number one, yeah. Right? And then you got the newborns, and then you have weddings. So outside of that, I'm gonna be honest, man, you can create a niche. I wrote a book, and I used to be against this. I used to be against trends and different things like that. But I can literally, in my book, I got a list of 10 things, right? 10 things that interest me. And I can create a niche based off of all of them. One of the things that I had like in college was snakes. I had 10 snakes. And once you buy your first snake, you buy a cheap snake for $30 or something like that. Then you go and you start to see these shows and you start to learn there's $10,000 and $5,000 snakes out here with different morphs and things like that. That is the thing that woke me up to say, yo, there's really something for everything. Tarantulas and all of these different things. You like, what in the world? Like, people are collecting this stuff. So whatever it is that you're interested in, that is the niche that you should be in my opinion, because it's not going to feel like work to you. And when you're not getting sales, you're still going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I kind of tell people. And then it's about just figuring out how to extract from that niche and grow your own following within that niche.
I'm gonna give you guys some of the best advice for doing what he just said. Okay, you guys ready? So, and I usually would like to have a whiteboard to draw this out on, but I'm gonna paint this picture for you. So you pick your niche, right? And I'm gonna pick hang gliders because I'm a hang glider pilot. I like to fly. I'm a pilot, right? And I know where the hang glider pilots hang out. We're all kind of like-minded, blah 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 blah, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a group on Facebook, and I'm gonna create a community. And all we're going to do is talk hang gliding and post your favorite hang gliding, post your flight, post this, post that. Let me see your glider. Let me see your new stuff. And I'm going to get my niche to join a group and to communicate with one another. And I'm going to build up a group. And I'm going to love it because I'm a hang glider pilot and I love it anyway, right? So I'm having fun doing it. Then as I get my community up and built, I'm going to ask them, hey, what are the favorite sayings you like about hang gliding? What are the favorite cliches that you say about hang gliding? Right? And then you're going to have your audience tell you the exact sayings that they want and they like. Or you can say, hey, has anyone got any favorite t-shirts? Show me a picture of your favorite t-shirt and let's, whatever. But you get your community to tell you the cliches, the sayings, the cool little things that they like about their industry, about their niche. And then you put them on some mock-up shirts, go, hey, I decided to start a t-shirt line. What do you guys think of these? And they'll start snapping them up and buying them. And you go through that process and you'll find some that really sell and some that really, really sell and some that don't sell. But that is like that works almost every single time, right? You can do that with any niche, anytime, and it just works.
And when you know, right? Like when you're a part of a community or something, like, you know, I wouldn't know anything about hang gliders. Just as sure, like you would probably, unless you were into it, you wouldn't know anything about snakes. But throughout this process, it's like when you come around somebody who knows about hang gliders, you guys can talk the talk, you guys can speak the lingo, and you know what's going on. So just by being a part of whatever it is that you're going after is the leg up. You know, be that person and create something. You know, a lot of people want to create the obvious, right? Like, you know, my design for Delaware just says first. It really says the word first, and the I is the shape of the state, right? And if you take a look at it, it's like, well, what does that mean? A lot of people don't know what Delaware is or where Delaware is. But now it's like, but if I wear this shirt and somebody from Delaware sees it, they're like, I like that. I get it in the stores all the time. I was like, yeah, I created this. You know what I mean? But when you know, and that's the thing about niches. Put yourself in the niche that you're already in. The people around you are going to become your audience. You know the things they like. They know what they like. And now it basically just becomes you building yourself up inside of your own niche.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right. So we're going to wrap it up. And this, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the show, but this is kind of brought to you by what we call Ecom Mentor Monthly. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. We have a membership platform where we archive all kinds of internet training, Facebook ads training, Facebook marketing training, niche training, all kinds of stuff. And you can try it out for $1. We've got email templates in there, and you can go to the website. I'll go ahead and put this in the comments so you can take a look at it. And it's not for everybody, but for people that really want to learn how to scale and grow their business and learn Facebook ads. We're constantly doing courses. We're constantly doing interviews, and we archive this information in there. And we're going to be adding more and more information to this platform. And with our goal is to, give you guys access at a click of a button and through a membership site, the various tools and things you need. And I think about, my relationship with Stan as it goes and everything from those flyers that you hand out. And it's kind of interesting. I was just talking with our team just recently going, I want to have a flyer to walk and hand out up and down the street where my office is, because everybody needs an e-commerce store. So if you're interested, you can check out Ecom Mentor Monthly and check it out for $1. Get in there. If you don't like it, bail and you're out for $1. You can see what we have. And if you do like it, we're going to continue to bring you some of the world's best and top trainers and guys in this space as far as making money selling t-shirts, print on demand, and e-commerce online. So Stan, I want to say thank you. Appreciate you very much. Look forward to a long and prosperous relationship with you. If there's anything we can ever do to help you, let us know. And until then, everybody, do what I do. Wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude and tell somebody you love them. I promise you have a better day. You get the last word, Stan.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate all you guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys over on T-Shirt Side Hustle. That's all I got.
All right. Peace, everybody. We're out.
Peace.